I was messing with y'all. What's up? It's Luther here. I got my boy today. Actually, it's a crazy guy. Crazy how I met this guy. Actually met him through Tyreek. He's the man behind my YouTube that I'm trying to get started so I can get better, get y'all more content, get y'all knowing more better who I am, what I do, and who I interact with on a daily basis. This is Dylan, aka Von Suave. He's in town to do some content, of course. He stays in New York. He got the accent, you know, what up, son? Like that type of shit, you know what I mean? But he's here to do some content, and so my guy.
Appreciate you for having me, man. Glad to be on the Luther Glover show.
Hey,
it's been too long.
So
I've been waiting for my interview. No one called me for my interview. We're doing all these interviews. No one said, "Oh, let's do a Dylan interview." Unreal.
So this fool. Tell me about, like, first of all, how do we meet? Like,
yeah, man.
Damn.
So first time I met Luther, we were shooting with Tyreek in Miami. We had a whole kind of like a little off-season vlog that we were doing, and
That's right.
I walk in, and here's Luther, all 6'19" of him, 295 pounds of muscle. And I said, "Who is this guy? Is he playing on the Chiefs?" And so I hit it off with Luther, man, and we've been really close. Obviously, working together with a lot of stuff that we do with Tyreek, with some workouts. And then also, you know, we really built a relationship together. This guy calls me and talks about, you know, anything from what cars he's looking at to, you know, to what's going on in his life, man. And so it's been obviously a lot of fun getting to know you, and we do a lot of cool things together. And I enjoy it.
We in the mall. We met that dude.
Oh my God! Quick story for you guys. We're in the mall and we're getting ready for kind of like a little yacht party that we had going on. And DK Metcalf comes running in. Obviously, DK and Tyreek know each other. And Luther goes, "Who is this guy?" I said, "Man, this is one of the top wide receivers in the NFL. Dude just got drafted. 1% body fat." And he said, "How does that guy play in the NFL? He's so big." So Luther didn't know who DK Metcalf was when we first met him in person.
That's embarrassing.
But it was a cool little story. And
then Reek was like, "Man, he'll kill you. He'll run your ass."
Yeah, different, man.
So, tell me about, like, how you got your company started, because I'm a small business, of course.
Yep.
And it's all about growing and networking, and it's pretty cool. Like, my background, of course, is basketball. From basketball, I go to not want to have a 9-to-5 desk job, and I like people. I'm a people person, like to talk, interact, shit like that. I love training. I love keeping the body fit, and sports performance is my passion.
Of course.
And that's how we alluded here. Mm-hmm. So how did you start A7, and what got you into that?
Yeah, so I had a background in advertising, specifically sports endorsements. I was working at an agency called Omnicom under the Ketchum Sports and Entertainment umbrella. And, you know, being an athlete myself, one of the things that I was passionate about was seeing athletes succeed off the field, obviously on the field, because I played sports, but more importantly, at least in my profession, it was off the field. So I was doing a lot of endorsements for professional athletes, for influencers, celebrities of all kinds. And being an athlete, I wanted to integrate a lot of these athletes that we were working with into a lot of the campaigns. And one of the things that I noticed was athletes had a hard time getting what we would consider an influencer deal, a digital deal, strictly due to their social presence.
Right.
And obviously, as we can see, a lot of guys have that audience. If you're an athlete in Kansas City, you have an audience that really cares about you, specifically in Kansas City. Yeah. But the lack was the athletes didn't have content that they can push on their social channels. So when we would go to a brand that says, "Hey, we're looking for guys that are really healthy. They're looking for, you know, some cookware or something that they're doing like off the field," they wouldn't sign off on an athlete strictly because of their social presence, and they couldn't associate that athlete mentally to someone that could produce a cooking video.
Gotcha.
So that's really where the spark of 8-7 started, and I had about 30 meetings with different agents, you know, at the top level, and also some smaller, you know, level marketing managers. And I said, "Listen, I kind of see this problem going on in the industry.
Right.
If there was ever a service that could provide content for your athletes, would that ever be of interest?" So I had about 30 meetings, and 29 of the 30 people said, "This is a problem that we see all the time." And so
it was a niche. It was kind of a loss. It was kind of like in the gray area. Like you knew something there in that opportunity.
Exactly.
And you were like, "Shit, I see something's here."
Yep.
You just had to figure out how to put the pieces together.
Exactly. And so, you know, I was working a comfy 9-to-5 job. Guess what you consider comfy? You're going to be there for the next 20 years and, you know, become vice president and you know, live a nice little comfortable life. But it was constantly weighing on me, this idea of there's something out there, and you want to go out and get it.
Right.
Same way that you went and did your business. So I'm kind of a whim, or more or less a whim, but obviously I had a little bit of backing to say this is a good idea to pursue. I quit my full-time job, and the next day, roughly around now, this is kind of our 3-year anniversary we're coming up on.
Today actually is anniversary. Shout out. This is this day, 12th
12th
of October.
I quit my job, and then next day,
Burn the boat. It's a term they call burn the boat.
Burn the boat.
You say you put all your marbles in and you go off on a risk, and just faith and saying, hey, I'm going to see whatever happens is going to happen, and whatever chips fall is going to fall.
Exactly. So that's what I did. Today, October 12th, I said, you know what, I think this is something I want to pursue. I quit my job and, basically started 8-7 from the ground up. We didn't have any funding. I wasn't massively wealthy or anything like that. It was kind of make money as soon as possible so you can start obviously paying your bills and making sure that, you don't end up completely broke. And so, long story short, we started it. Our first project that we got was really interesting. We started, you always talk about you slowly grow. We kind of went to the top right away. We worked with the UFC.
Very fortunate.
Very fortunate. But, at the same time, we were constantly grinding. It was 2,000 emails a week to random people that we never knew.
And you just hoping someone hit you back.
Hoping someone would hit us back and sign some sort of a deal to start making money for ourselves. And within 2 months, we signed with an agency to do a documentary for the UFC. Gotcha. And it was a really cool documentary. To a guy named Aljamain Sterling. He's climbing the ranks right now in the UFC, top guy, and Jimmy Rivera. So we did a documentary on both of those guys who were fighting each other out in Phoenix, and that was kind of the jump start to 8-7. And then we signed a bunch of what we consider retainer clients that really helped us fund the agency. Okay. Like I said earlier, we didn't have any funding. So we had to figure out how to make money and how to make money fast. Because from our perspective, I didn't want to go out and go to the banks. I didn't want to go out and generate money from investors.
I know all about that.
We didn't know where it would go.
It's tough.
So that's really the foundational story. We've been around, like I said, for 3 years now, and
who are some of the clients that you work with? Because it's not is it a little bit of everybody, a little bit of athletes, non-athletes, or a little bit of both?
Yeah, so we work with we consider ourselves split into 2 separate areas. The first side is brands that we work with. So we'll work with anything from a university to a real estate client or a financial firm. Gotcha. And so we'll do anything that they want for marketing, for commercials. We've had commercials on ESPN for the March Madness with clients like New Mexico State University, all the way to doing YouTube videos for some of the biggest financial clients in the world.
Wow.
And that's on the brand side. So that has really allowed us to do what we're very passionate about. Not to say that we're not passionate about brand work, but being an athlete myself, I always wanted to see the athletes succeed.
Oh, yeah.
So we take the money that we generate from the brands that we work with and fund it for the athletes. So we have, as you know, guys like Tyreek Hill. So we do Tyreek's YouTube channel. We monetize all the content for him. Do a lot of day in the life stuff. Doing a lot of day in the life stuff for him. We have girls like Sydney McLaughlin, 2-time Olympic champion. Just in this last Tokyo Olympics, won 2 gold medals. 400-meter hurdle. She's holding the world record right now. Right. So we do her YouTube. We do Snapchat for her as well. And then we have about 15 professional athletes that we work with across golf. We have a guy named Drake Harrington, who's on the PGA Tour, European Tour. NFL guys, Jalen Mills. I'm on Ross St. Brown and the Detroit Lions. And then we have a few baseball players. We're launching a channel this Thursday with an up-and-coming superstar that we have a lot of faith in, Julio Rodriguez. So that's kind of what we do on the athlete side. We work with guys like Nate Robinson, NBA player, obviously really well known. So we span across a lot of different areas, and I think we want to play in those 2 areas because that's what we're good at. Right. Having that background in advertising, right. We know how to work with brands. We know how to tell the brand story, but simultaneously we also know how to tell someone like Tyreek's story, a kid from Pearson who came from a lot of hard work and dedication, a 5th-round pick to become the top guy in the league. So. Right. We're very passionate about both sides, and we want to see all of our clients succeed. Whether it's a guy like Tyler Cameron, as you know, we work with the Bachelorette contestant Tyler, and we push a lot, we work hard, and we want to continue growing in both those directions.
That's dope. I think it's pretty dope. So like you just said, as far as the you work with 2 sides. I know for myself, I do the same. I have my normal clients as far as weight loss, lifestyle, people who just want to lose weight, feel great, or just exercise just to keep and promote a healthy lifestyle. Yeah. And then I have the guys like a like the sports people, like the athletes, like the basketball, the baseball, the track, the football. So I have two sides of myself. My who I work with. I also have I like to call them my Leewood moms and my Northern moms and the ladies who how do I say this? They like to do a lot of shopping and a lot of drinking and a lot of working out. But it's fun, and so it's cool to work with different types of clientele.
Yeah.
Because you can see, you have this clientele, you got this clientele, this clientele. It's fun, and it's just like seeing all that stuff come together. It's a pretty cool thing to do. Yeah. And I love doing it.
Absolutely.
And so I see where you come from. You get the kick from doing it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it keeps things moving constantly. Yeah. For us, I see a lot of people that, they get burnt out. They work for a year and a half, 2 years at a startup company. Yeah. We're constantly doing different things. I mentioned to you earlier, we push a lot of content out there. This year alone, almost 250 videos. Yeah. And each video, I think the beautiful part about it is each video is different and it's unique. Yeah. And so we're not doing the same thing every day. While it's rooted in content production, it's a completely different story. It's a completely different client. While with someone like Tyreek will do 35 videos in an off season, every video is a different experience. It's something like American Ninja Warrior all the way to boxing.
It's insane because I'm older than you guys, so this is the generation that's YouTube, this Snap. Yeah. I can barely snap till I met Tyreek, or you know what I mean. He changed my
Snap my FaceTime.
My twins, Briley, she actually created my Snap. You know what I mean?
Just check out that video real quick.
Yeah.
We just posted it the other day.
Yeah,
the twins. Check it out.
Shout out
link it right here.
You know what I mean? She created my Snap because I didn't know how to put the emojis and shit.
Yeah.
And she did that, and I'm like, man, this is I feel like I'm 80 years old, but it's crazy because what I'm doing now is actually creating an online program for next year. That's what I'm working on right now. And it's super hard because that's going to be my first time doing it. And, I'm over here about to write all these, PDFs, and they're like, nah, nobody wants a PDF. No one's going to read it. Mm-hmm. So it's been a journey for the last 2-3 months, just filming something basic. Yeah. And I got less than 3 months to finish it, to get it going for January. Yeah. And it's a hell of a experience, to be honest with you, because it's cool, but it's not just cool, but it's also it's just a different world for me, because I'm like, man, the way I was raised and grew up, and taking myself out of my comfort zone, out of that realm, and putting myself out there, like, hey, this is Luther. I feel awkward as shit doing this. Like right now, just in this interview right now with you, I'm like, man, this stuff is basic shit, but I get it. It's this is what the people want to see.
Of course.
You guys want to see how am I outside of training, and the reason why I started this YouTube channel, to be honest with you, is I wanted people to see. Yeah, my goal is to promote and put out workouts, hype videos, impromptu videos. Yeah. Because I'm big on living a high healthy lifestyle. Looking good with your shirt off, whatever, beach body, whatever. Of
course.
But I wanted people to see outside of me just training all of these guys.
Yeah.
My relationships with outside of, I feel like I meet some cool people and what they do. Yeah. Like what you do is dope as hell to me. So it's I want people to see it's some pretty cool people out here, and it's some pretty cool things that some of my clients do. Absolutely. Outside of just me training them, and I have a relationship with everybody I train.
Well, I think we as we all know, we live in a digital space right now, so it only makes sense for you to do what you're doing. Mm-hmm. To constantly put out YouTube content, Instagram content, Snapchat, Twitter, whatever it is. Right. Because I always say you never know which one's gonna hit. You know that. I preach that all the time.
Yeah, I listen to everything you tell me to post.
All the time.
I don't
just constantly push.
I'm learning. Trying to figure it out. Like I said, it's unique. It's different. Yeah. I get it. It's a different world for me, but it's here.
Yeah.
What is next for A7?
It's funny. I get this question a lot. We're just gonna keep pushing in the direction that we're pushing. Yeah. I don't foresee us ever pivoting in any certain way. We're just gonna keep refining. We're gonna keep getting better, and we're gonna keep growing. For us, I think the first 2 years were a good learning. You make a little money. You start to kind of figure out your ground level. Mm-hmm. Year 3 for us was the year that we really grew a lot, in both obviously revenue, but also in a lot of learnings. So I think for us, it's just constantly building that. It's not going in any direction that we don't already go in. It's just doing bigger projects, bigger brands, more higher budget projects on the brand side, working with more athletes, higher caliber athletes, constantly pushing the envelope. And also, like I said earlier, refining what we're doing, because our original idea or concept was just doing YouTube content. just starting. We wanted to differentiate ourselves and get into the marketplace. And as we both know, working with top tier athletes, they have to learn how to trust you. Yeah. So for us, our trust was, hey, we're just going to do YouTube videos for you. Yeah. It's simple and it's easy. But as we continue to grow, we want to do documentaries. We want to get into more long-form content. We want to do shows for athletes. So instead of saying, hey, we're just going to do a fun little Snapchat, a YouTube series, or YouTube behind-the-scenes vlog-style content, let's do a show on Snapchat.
Right.
So we want to constantly push that envelope. With guys like Ty, obviously we started with doing YouTube. I'd love to get to a place where we do a Netflix documentary.
Right.
Like I said earlier, I think that kind of story is constantly being told. The only difference, and this is really what we're rooted in, is we produce content for athletes from their perspective.
Right.
We never wanted to be the Bleacher Reports of the world or Uninterrupted, which I think put out incredible content. But our root and what we want to, our kind of core mantra is the athletes are going to own their own content. Right. So let's just say in 10 years when someone like Tyreek or Sydney or Nate, when they're done in their career and they're kind of figuring out the next thing, and someone approaches them to do a documentary, and we have all this years and years of content. Instead of, let's call it Bleacher Report or ESPN saying we're going to go sell that, ESPN is now going to come to the athlete and buy that content from the athlete because they hold the power. So that's the mantra that we always constantly push. The athletes that we work with, they own their own content.
That's a very different way to swing it.
Exactly.
Spin it. I think it's dope because, like you said, it goes what you just said. None of the athletes usually have rights to all the stuff that that's filmed. It's always royalties and you know what I mean. But
they get paid up front. We've seen it. So and
very good way to corner the market, to be honest with you.
Exactly, and we did something I think unique for professional athletes.
Big.
Because we're so used to seeing people just do content and it goes nowhere. Yeah. We wanted to be the partner to them to say, listen, do you be you on the field, be you off the field, whoever you are. We're going to be the ones that, the same way that your marketing manager or your on-field agent is going to go negotiate that deal, we're going to go to the media companies or the platforms and negotiate deals to monetize content for you. And so they don't have to think about anything.
Right.
They just say, okay, we're partnered together. We take our our partnership model and just hit the ground running, produce content, push out a lot of stuff, and monetize it for them because like I said, that's it. The things that we see that we care about, whether it's documentaries, E60s, Bleacher Report videos that they put out there. I love that kind of content. Right. We want to produce the same exact thing, except with just a different model. And not even we want to, we are. And that's what it's funny because I hear a lot of people say, we want to do this, we want to do that. We're doing it at the highest level. And it's like I said, we just want to continue doing it.
It's amazing. I want you to have continued success.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Man, like in a year time span, how you flourished and it's just booming and boom, 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 boom. And you guys remain very humble. You are a small business, and after being a small business, I know for me, being in this 8 years, I always tell anyone, for me, even though things, I have your ups and your downs, whatever. That's just anything in life.
And a pandemic year last year.
Man, and that's what I'm getting at. So, like for me, always remember what your why is. Even if the money's not coming in, or even if things are having a gloomy, rainy day, you always gotta know what your why is, because your why is gonna be subject to change. And like for me, growing up, it was use this basketball to get school paid for.
Of course.
Well, after you do that, okay, what's next? Is it a job? Well, let me see if I can use this basketball a little bit more. Okay, I got to play ball for 7 years, back and forth here and there. It wasn't about the money, because if it was about the money, shoot, I would have been broke a long time ago. But it was more so about the experience and being able to experience different parts of the world. And, I've been to Mumbai, India. I mean, fucking, like who can say they've been to India or Poland, Estonia? You know what I mean? Like just a few of the countries that I was like, man, like I've been able to do that, and some people don't understand. Like it's amazing to say you got to do that, and so like when you always know what your why is, I feel like things will always come to you because you're gonna always know what your why is.
Absolutely.
And your why, as long as you have a why, your goal and your whatever your goal and your perspective of what you're trying to do is going to always reflect back. Boom, that's what your why is. Boom, that's what's going to happen. That's what you're going to do.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So
couldn't agree more.
I think it's pretty dope.
Thank you, man.
And keep growing.
Appreciate you.
87, baby. On 3-year anniversary, baby.
3 years.
On the map. You know what I mean? A.K.A. Von Swab. Right now, he's not dressed like he usually is, but usually this dude got his hair down.
This is the work suit right now.
My man's like a Fabio model, hair down. Like, He's like, what's the dude name? Sheesh, what's his name? Aquaman dude.
Aquaman.
He drops his hair. He has his
Jason
hair like,
Momoa.
yeah, and his hair. Hey, if you out there, Jason Momoa, you see this video? What's up? I'm ready to work you out. He's gonna do your brand content. What's good?
Do it.
He's your stunt double. Come on, put him on, put him in. Come on, put him in.
I love it.
All right, my guy, appreciate your
you, man.
time.
Thank you. Subscribe, like. This man's putting out really cool content, man. I love it. Keep grinding.
Yeah.
Sir.